We are going to ground some solenoids in the playfield to test them, but remember the safety switch in the coin door. When the door is opened, the safety switch disconnects the solenoid power. You may leave the door opened, but you must pull out the switch. And this is our bottom pop bumper which we want to test. And the big question, of course, is which side to ground and which side of the solenoid not to ground. If you have completed the solenoid section of this course for the WPC system, you would have no problem to answer this question. The two yellow bars are clear indication that this is the incoming power, the solenoid power connected to the coil, and this side is the one not to ground. But for the testing the coil, I would suggest that you use a spare alligator clip, which you can clip on the coil, as you can see on the screen. Now you can ground the coil just by grounding the alligator clip, and the arcing will leave no black marks on the coil lug. Just make sure that you clip the alligator clip on the rivet so it has a good contact. Welcome back and well done. In this lesson we'll be looking at the flippers in the Stan Sam system machines. So let's focus now on the end of stroke switch when it opens up. The end of stroke switch is open now, and the driver transistor is rapidly sending ground pulses to the coil. This is enough to keep the flipper bed up. And this is also the reason why you hear the characteristic hum coming out of this kind of flipper. Pulsing the coil such a way ensures that the coil will not overheat even if you hold the flipper up for a long time. The computer will keep pulsing the coil until the flipper button is released. Just to understand better what is going on, let's check the pulses with the oscilloscope, and we can check it directly on the coil. So let's see it once more, but this time we will pause it. The red arrow marks the duration of the ground pulse, and that's the initial kick which makes the flipper powerful. The blue arrow indicates the duration of the holding time, and in this period you can see only very narrow pulses going to ground. And that's enough to keep the flipper bed in the active position. The yellow arrow indicates the solenoid voltage, which is almost 80 volts when it's not loaded. A good way of checking a switch is to measure the voltage straight across the switch. When the switch is open, you should measure 5 volts, and that comes from the pull-up resistor on the noteboard. You immediately know that the connection to the switch is okay, otherwise you wouldn't be able to measure the 5 volts. Both the ground and the switch input is connected to the switch. And if you close the switch, you should measure 0 volts.